Across the South Coast, live from Solent University, you're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon, it's 4 o'clock, I'm Toby Chapman, and these are your Solent Sports News headlines. Southampton are back in training today after their 3-1 defeat to Liverpool. The tough experience will put them in good stead for this weekend's clash against fellow bottom four side Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolverhampton are the only realistic team Southampton can catch to avoid the drop. Saints boss Ivan Juric believes that he has seen signs of real progression.
And today they perform better, and I like the performance. I like almost everything, and it's very important for us to keep going like this. That we are improving, and that the guys want to work, and we have to do a good match against Wolverhampton, and then until the end of the season.
Nottingham Forest have lost their appeal of a fine issued by the FA. They were fined £750,000 by the Football Association for a post targeted at video assistant referee Stuart Atwell for his decision during a defeat in April last year. There are question marks over the future of the Commonwealth Games. Dame Laura Kenny has concerns about how the competition has stagnated over recent years.
Commonwealth Games are actually looking into how it's run, how they can make it bigger and better, and how they can make it more attractive to nations to actually step forward and put their hands up and say, actually, we want to take it on. And like you see it in other sports, how they're developing and how they're making it so that more and more people can watch it, more and more people can be involved.
Glasgow stepped in to host the scaled-down version of the 2026 Games after the Australian state of Victoria withdrew last year because of rising costs. England's men's rugby team have kept their Six Nations title chances alive after they picked up all 5 points in their 47-24 win against Australia. Head coach Steve Borthwick was pleased with his side's style, which saw them run in 7 tries.
I was really pleased with the players today, the way they adapted to an early disruption with Ollie Lawrence's injury against a really tricky opponent who were very, very streetwise, attack the breakdown really hard. So in that context, to deal with that and to get the result, to get the 7 tries was a really great performance by the guys. I think I've talked about the team playing fast. I think I've talked about the team being aggressive with the ball. I think that's the language I've used.
They'll have to keep the same level of performance and be helped by a Scotland win against DuPont-deprived France to push for their first Six Nations title since 2020. Keeping with the rugby, this year will be the first time a British and Irish Lions rugby union squad will be revealed in front of fans. Head coach Andy Farrell will name his players for the summer tour of Australia at London's O2 Arena. In the cricket, India edged out New Zealand to win the Champions Trophy in Dubai. They chased down their victory target of 252 runs to cement India's place as the leading white ball side in the world. Captain Rohit Sharma says his side have once again dealt with their nation's huge expectations.
Boys and the team have actually managed to put that aside and just focus on how to win games and how to enjoy the game. So that has been the most important aspect of our game in the last 2 or 3 years that we've played.
We have sports reporter Tom Wilkinson in the studio with us today. Tom, could you talk to us a bit about the controversies that surrounded this year's tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a challenging one, really, for everybody involved. Obviously, there are political tensions currently between India and Pakistan. And with this tournament being held in Pakistan, India refused to travel on safety grounds. Now, what it resulted in was India playing all of their games in the United Arab Emirates at the same venue. Their coach Gautam Gambhir rubbished any suggestions that it provided a competitive advantage, but realistically, you don't have to be a genius to put 2 and 2 together. No travel between games, and you know the playing conditions like the back of your hand. It will realistically provide some kind of competitive performance advantage.
So what does this potentially mean for the future of cricket?
I don't think it changes too much, to be honest. The cricketing world is effectively already controlled by India. They have the money, they have the power, and crucially, they have an exponentially increasing fan base as well. The Indian Premier League is taking over international cricket. The BCCI, which is the Indian Cricket Board, already takes 38% of the ICC's projected earnings over the next 3 years. Just for reference, England with the ECB currently sits second on that list at just under 7%. This has happened before as well. The 2024 T20 World Cup, India knew their semi-final date, time and venue before anybody else did, primarily so that Indian fans could watch on primetime TV at home.
Thank you very much, Tom. Now across the pond, where Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen has agreed a new contract worth up to a reported $350 million. Alan was awarded the NFL's Most Valuable Player for the 2024 season, and his contract extension to 2030 will make him one of the highest paid players in NFL history. And finally, it has been 92 days since the curtain fell on the 2024 Formula One season. But this weekend, Australia are gearing up to host the season opener for the first time since 2019 off the back of a record-breaking year for engagement. Same voice, different sport, as we sent Tom Wilkinson on the road to look at the motorsport's growth at grassroots level.
The world's fastest show is finally back.
And it's lights out and away we go!
The 2025 Formula One season kicks off this weekend in Melbourne, Australia, coming off the back of a campaign that saw record viewing figures, attendances and participation in grassroots motorsport, the British Grand Prix in particular raking in the most viewers ever for a race held in Europe.
8 times we've said it before, here's a night for you! Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix!
Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot. It means a lot to get this one.
With the sport becoming more accessible and popular to the wider audiences, plenty of people are now thinking about kickstarting their own motorsport careers. Alex has been competing in the British Indoor Karting Championships this week in Eastleigh and is revelling in the new levels of competition and camaraderie.
Being able to have that fun and that competitive nature you have with your friends or with a tight community is just kinds of great way of experiencing it, of racing side by side, seeing who dares to break latest. It's a great bit of adrenaline, a great bit of fun and community, and it's something that you can't really experience in any other sport, really.
The growth hasn't just been in the male audiences either. For the longest time, motorsport was seen as a male-dominated sport, with only 5 women ever entering a Formula One Grand Prix. However, that has been changing significantly over the previous few years, with the W Series and now F1 Academy putting promising female racing drivers on the map.
Up the hill! Final run to the line! Jamie Chadwick is an Indy Next winner!
The 21-year-old British driver from Lincolnshire, Abby Pulling, makes history, becoming our 2024 F1 Academy champion.
Aspiring female racing drivers, such as Olive, who has also been competing in the British Indoor Karting Championships, now have active and progressing role models that give them the belief a career in motorsport is no longer a pipe dream, but a possibility.
For the first time, we're now seeing women making a career in motorsport and being successful at the same time. And it's finally given so many aspiring female drivers the motivation to think we can actually make a living out of this.
And so, with the number of eyeballs increasing and participation soaring, it is the perfect time to kickstart the 2025 season. And there are so many storylines to talk about as well. Max Verstappen, can he become a 5-time world champion? Can Lando Norris and McLaren right the wrongs of 12 months ago? And will Lewis Hamilton's blockbuster move to Ferrari pay off and prove to everyone that he is still standing amongst the greats?
I'm still standing!
Thanks again, Tom, and thank all of you for listening throughout the day. We'll be back next week at 11 a.m. Remember, you can keep up to date 24 hours a day on our website, which is solentsportsnews.com. From all of us here, goodbye.